Alright, so in our last video we talked about arrays and how to use them in order to store our inventory and add items to it with our new add item function and the call to the push method of an array. And in this video we are going to be going over how we're going to convert these into real usable items. Because as they are right now, they're just strings. And when you think about like an item in a typical game, usually it has a name, it has some kind of effect, right? An item type, something that it does. So we are going to be turning these into objects. Now, what is an object? Well, an object essentially is a collection of values that have like names. So you can think of them as named variables, and you can access them by name as a part of the object. So what exactly does that look like? Well, let's say we have a sample object here, and this sample object has a name that is an object name, and it has a type of type object, and it has, say, like a color of red. So now, whenever we want to get at, say, this color value on this sample object, we can use what's called dot selection. So let's say we have our special color will be equal to sample object dot, and you see how the different properties are listed out in our autocomplete. Very nice, very nice. Let's go ahead and add color right there. See, so sample object dot color gets this color property from this object, and we can use that in different cool and interesting and useful ways. So let's turn these strings into objects. Let's go ahead and wrap that in braces, and we're going to say that is its name. We're going to say it has a type of weapon, and we're going to say it has an attack value of 5. Now we're going to do the same thing here. This has a name, has a type of shield, and it has a defense of 2 because it's, you know, kind of rusty. Let's see if this we have this brand new fork here. We're going to give it a name, a brand new fork. We're going to give it a type of weapon, and this is going to take a little while, so bear with me here. And this being a brand new, very sharp fork, it's going to have an attack of 10. Twice as good as an iron sword. You can imagine how sharp this fork must be. So let's see. We're turning this red potion into an item as well. So let's say I have a name here. We're going to give it a type of consumable. It's going to only be used once, right? And for right now, we're going to give it an effect of heal 5. Now, later we're going to want to replace this with something else that's a little more interesting, but we will get to that in a future video. We'll turn this into an object as well with a name of blue potion, type of consumable, and an effect of heal 10. Note here that the properties are separated by commas, and if you forget the comma, it'll scream at you. So make sure you don't forget those. Let's turn this into an object as well. Give it a name, interesting lizard. A type of accessory. Interesting lizards are very fashionable. And we're going to give it stats, because an accessory can have a whole variety of stats, unlike how a weapon will always give attack and shield will always give defense. Now we can actually assign an object as the value of this stats property in this object. So you can effectively nest multiple objects. So here we are going to give an HP of 10, an attack of 0, and a defense of 0. And now for Snowball the rabbit, we are going to make that string his name. We're going to give it a type of accessory. And we're also going to give it a stats prop with an object that has an HP of 2, attack of 10, and defense of 10. We are going to turn this into an object with a name of Father's Lost Notebook. We're going to say this is a key item, so we're going to give it a type of key. And that Mother's Homemade Lasagna is going to be the exact same way, with a name of Mother's Homemade Lasagna and a type of key. So now, in our actions, for example, if we wanted to say use sword, we could say, okay, we'll take use the iron sword dot attack, and we can get this value and add that to our attack there. We're gonna do some interesting things with this in future videos. However, for right now, we have to go over some other topics before we can really get to that. So stay tuned for the next video.